Hi, I'm Faye Hardin. Welcome to my site. Hope you enjoy it, browse, and get the information that we have there for you. For those of you concerned about the way our nation is going, I just wanted to give you some facts concerning what is actually taking place in the high places of our government. As I was researching the cause for so much private property being seized by the federal government, I literally found the truth. That is what we are experiencing, and that is the fundamentally transformation into a communist nation by Barack Obama and the seeds of the 60s radicals. They've been trained and indoctrinated by Saul Alinsky, the author, best-selling author of Rules for Radicals, the book that was dedicated actually to Lucifer. On the Insider's Report that I just completed, the title is Obama's Assault on America. You will find the truth. The executive orders and the laws passed to bring the hardworking citizens under total control by overtaxation, laws that gave the federal agencies the power to govern water, food, oil, gas, energy, health care, our forests, our wildlands, our national heritages, our parks, rivers, and this all without congressional oversight or complied with our laws of the United States or the U.S. Constitution. Unless you had been where I've been for the past 3 months, there's no way you could comprehend what's gone on through a web of wickedness, starting basically with Bill Clinton as president, with Obama as a community organizer, with passing the torch for turning the United States over 1 acre at a time, 1 meter of ocean at a time, between Obama as a community organizer and then Bill Clinton as president and George Bush as president, and passing it right on to Barack Obama. And this is the end of their agenda. They are to complete their course this year. And Obama, with the help of these other 2 presidents and with the help of executive orders and with the help of 2/3 of our Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, they have created laws that and executive orders that usurp our Constitution over the agenda of the radicals, and they're bringing under submission our country. We must go back, and they do not have the authority to do this. Every one of these people have taken a vow to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. They've taken a vow to defend this nation from enemies, domestic and foreign. But they've changed their allegiance. America's trying to decide what is really going on here. Why are we paying $4 a gallon for gas? Why is steak $18 a pound? Why is Campbell's soup $1.50 a can? Why is hay exorbitant? Trucks can't run because of the cost of diesel. What is happening to our country with the housing crisis, and so many people that's lost their homes and lost their lands, not to be able to get it back again? Well, in my CD series, I explain exactly where we've come from and where we've come to, and why so many of us have been robbed of our property. Personally, when Barack Obama became president, I had a beautiful home valued at almost $300,000. I owed less than $150,000 on it, and the balance I had saved for years to be my retirement, and I know many of you did the same thing. One night, one freakish night, as I was going to bed, 3 black hooded guys, some of them teenagers, 1 man training the other 2, black hooded, broke in a back door and came up my stairs. They beat me to a pulp. They pistol whipped me. I fought back. It took a while for them to knock me down. The gun that was fired at my temple misfired, I was told, when I regained consciousness. The bullet was on the floor, but for some reason it misfired. Dead. They wanted me dead. They choked me to unconsciousness. left me in an unrecognizable condition on the floor of my home while they ransacked it. And as they beat my head on the floor and blood going everywhere, they were yelling at me, "Talk about Obama now, bitch. Talk about Obama now." And it was a hate crime, but there was never anyone that tried to arrest these guys. They knew basically where to look. They thought they had even caught them, even the night that they rushed me to the hospital. And I fought for my life for weeks, months. I could not go anywhere because I had at my bed at one time a brain surgeon, a plastic surgeon, and a urologist. My left eye was into the total back of my head. They never thought I would see again. Even if I did, they thought it would be double vision and I would have to wear a real heavy lens. And I fought literally, emotionally. The trauma took a year for me to overcome it. And during that time, crime became so rampant in my community. And my home right now, almost 3 years later, is in a short sale valued at $115,000. And if the bank will accept that, and we've been trying to sell it for over 2 years, I couldn't understand how I could have come from so high to so low so quick. I even had a savings for retirement, over $52,000, and it took the savings to pay for double living expenses because I had to go into an area, gated communities, just to save my life. The Orlando Police Department never looked. They never used the evidence. In fact, one of the detectives actually sabotaged the evidence. So the detective that really wanted to capture my attempted the killers couldn't do anything. It was unbelievable what I went through with the Orlando Police Department, and the chief of police was black. Most of her detectives were black, and the people in my community that I know now were the people who most likely were the attackers hid just around across the side of my fence I didn't know about. And the grandma used to be with the Homeland Security Department. And so when I began to piece this together and to see what I lost and no way to get it back, I'm in my senior years, I couldn't understand what was going on in this country. One by one, people began to lose their property. They didn't really understand how we got to this place with George Bush and his $750 billion bailout, with the fact that Bill Clinton forced loans to be given to people he knew couldn't repay them based on Barack Obama's working on the front lines as a community organizer, dictating what they were going to do, because this was the beginning of Barack Obama's fundamental change of America. They were seizing property rights. So they made it through the seizure of, how many billions of dollars worth of people's property, how much losses that we took because of their actions. And then when Obama became president, he carried it to the next level. But people didn't identify this as a literal seizure of private property the way they see the seizure of the oil fields, the seizure of gold mines, the seizures that Bill Clinton began with Yellowstone Park, and that's just to name a few, the seizures of our national parks, our forests, our wetlands. It's just gone on and on and on, up to 750 million acres. They have confiscated some of the wealthiest earth in this country, and they've gotten away with it. They made laws that gave them the authority and power to do this, not only to seize them, but place them under a UN, United Nations mandate that we have to adhere to. Hillary Clinton, just a few weeks ago, gave $2 billion to the United Nations in a G8 summit, a G20 summit, and she has pledged billions more for a sustainable development UN mandate. That sustainable development UN mandate is the key to everything else that I've just talked to you about. It demands population control. So what am I saying? I'm saying that Bill Clinton began the move to bring the population of this country under submission to the UN quota. With doing that, he has to seize private property. In the communist goals, the private property ownership is eradicated. That's almost happened. 50% of America will be turned over to the snails and the rats and the bats. No human presence allowed, and people are not being told the truth. I'm here today to warn you that what is happening in this country was deliberate. I'm not the only one that has lost everything in her senior years without even being responsible. None of it's my fault, but we're victims of the radicals now running this country and have been running it and speeded up with Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Barack Obama. Threefold cord is not easily broken. These men, plus Hillary Clinton, and their interior secretaries, which are all environmentalist radicals, and they've had our Treasury as a cash cow. So that brings us to Obamacare. Where does that play in the role of the radicals? Well, there has to be an elimination of a lot of Americans in order to meet the mandate of the Sustainable Development UN agenda and live up to the control and the quota that they have set for us by eliminating seniors, the disabled, and the poor, by banning medical care procedures that used to be covered by Medicare, Social Security that used to be for the retirement of the people of this country. They have squandered Social Security with an SSI, giving Social Security to foreigners. They can come in with a doctor's slip and go on our Social Security program. They have bankrupted our Social Security. But Obamacare is the method to bring this nation to the quota of the United Nations mandate according to the Sustainable Development mandate that Hillary Clinton and George Bush also signed on to, also Bill Clinton signed on to, and they've committed billions and billions of borrowed dollars to make sure that it is implemented. I'm saying to you today, these people need to be confronted by the Constitution, by people in this country who's going to hold them accountable, who's going to remove them as traitors. What they've done is against anything our Constitution calls for. We have not removed our Constitution, and they're not going to do it either. I have a CD series that everybody needs to get. It is an Insider's Report, Obama's Assault on America. When you hear this, you're going to say, why don't the prophets know this? Why don't people who said where America's going? I hear so many people prophesying, America, this is it. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. But when you know the facts, when you know what to do, and you know how it came about, and you know how these radicals rose to power, and they want to control us, if we give it to them, then we don't have anything to worry about. But I'm going to tell you, God healed me. He healed my face. Every bone in the left side of my face was broken. The right side was crushed. It's nothing but plates, and I had the greatest plastic surgeon in the country. He put me back together. He didn't even know what I looked like. But when he finished, I was exactly the way a normal face. You could not tell the difference, how God guided his hands. He went through my face from the inside of my mouth. It took months and months and months to heal, but not one scar was left. And then the eyes. For 8 months, I was in an ophthalmologist's office every week. The swelling was so bad, in the left eye especially. He said, we won't really know, Faye, what to do until the swelling is down. Every month, he was a Christian, a beautiful Christian man, and every month I would go, and I said, Doctor, it's going to be okay. God's going to heal my eye. I'm not going to have double vision. I'm not going to have a patch on my eye. I'm not going to have a large lenses. I'm in television. My appearance is important. And that's just not going to happen. And months later, my vision came back. My left eye became normal. And then that took me to, the trauma took me to an eye surgeon for cataracts. And he removed the cataracts. They sent the bill to Medicare. Now, the president and the radicals are demanding full pay, no copay, for abortions, for sterilization, for the morning after pill, for condoms, anything else they decide they want to put on the ticket. But when you go to a specialist, one of the best doctors in the country, and he restores your vision as a woman, what he gets paid is 80% of what he charges. 80%. Oh no, not even 80%. These doctors are getting paid 20% of the, what is deducted is 80%. He gets 20%. But then, after the 20%, he only gets 80% of that 20%. So for a $1,000 bill for an eye that was totally restored by a specialist that covered the office visits, all of the lab work, everything was $1,000. I couldn't believe what I got for $1,000. Medicare paid them $240. I called them because I thought it was a mistake. She said, no, the payments have been reduced. I said, so you are telling me that you can pay environmentalist lawyers $206 million at one clip, Eric Holder designated in July of last year, to just study the lawsuits of the environmentalists seeking to make bats, rats, beagles, lizards endangered so they could have huge lawsuits and they could confiscate land, oil fields, gas fields, coal mines. But when it comes to paying a doctor for something that he's qualified to do, you're paying him 20% and then 80% of the 20%. How is that justified? That is Obama's plan, she said. That's what Health and Human Services, that's the way it's going to be. So if you want to stay like you are and you want to see the radicals continue to drain our treasury, to bring forth, they all worship the earth. They think the earth is their mother. Although Bibles are not allowed. God, 10 Commandments, let's get rid of all of it. My friends, it's time to wake up. You need to get my series. Everybody that'll help me stay on television, if you'll donate $50, I will send you this series, Obama's Assault on America, and also the CD series on exactly what is Obamacare. Really? You need to know. Seniors are in danger, and they do not know the truth. I'm believing that we're going to go in and begin a campaign that seniors are going to hear the truth. So I hope you enjoy my website. I want you to get this message out. Forward my address, insightUSA.us. Have other people hear this message. It's also going to go up on YouTube because I want people to respond. I want you to know the bill numbers, the laws, when and how they did it, and I have it on this CD. I look forward to hearing from you. Join us, our prayer teams. Become a part of God Can Save America, and let me hear from you soon.
Faye believes only God can save America. She is asking you to join her patriotic prayer network and help pull down the strongholds over this God-blessed nation. The Lord spoke to Faye last year to call forth 3,000 united, focused, informed, and anointed prayer warriors. Will you answer the call? She needs your financial support today. Will you become a $20 a month partner with Faye to help her believe for America's deliverance from the wicked and authority? When you partner with Faye, you will receive a most sought-after weekly prayer bulletin, Faye's Facts, and you can request a special insider report, Obama's Assault on Americans. Go to insightUSA.us to enter your email to receive Faye's weekly e-action alerts. If you love America, stand with Faye.